I'm Lee Pafford for HomeTowne TV News. We're here with Summit's Mayor Ellen Dixon. We wanted to discuss a little bit about the decision of Merck to leave Summit and move to Kenilworth. Can you tell us about why they may have wanted to move out of our Summit town?
Well, we're hearing a little bit more. We actually met with the Merck officials today. The announcement was just yesterday. And it's cost cutting. They have too much real estate in New Jersey. They had moved the headquarters from White House Station to Summit. That was our global headquarters for a few months anyway, and now they're moving it to Kenilworth because they have facilities in Kenilworth, Linden, Rahway, in addition to the ones I just mentioned. So they have a lot of real estate in New Jersey.
So they're deciding to move away from Summit to condense into a location in Kenilworth?
Yes, and to reduce costs. They're reducing about $2.5 billion in expenses at the company. They're reducing their workforce by about 20%. So it's tough competing in this environment, and these are the moves they need to make the company function in the future and be strong.
And certainly we understand a business's needs to make sure that they can maintain, although it is sad to see people lose their jobs, and certainly we don't like to see someone who provides the tax revenue that Merck does move out of the area. What is the plan for Summit to get another corporation to come in and take over this building?
Well, Merck does own the campus. It's 88 acres. It's some of the buildings are state-of-the-art. They have a garage that holds about 3,700 cars. I mean, it's a very big, new, beautiful campus. Not every building is brand new, but over the years a lot of money has been spent on it. So what they would like to do, and we met with them today, is find a like buyer, someone who could immediately move in and use the assets that they have brought up to snuff. Certainly a pharmaceutical company, life sciences, anything in the medical field and research that could use the facility would be the first and best use for the site. If that doesn't work out, we were discussing options. The head of global real estate was in the meeting with us today. Maybe they could break the site down into smaller units and sell off some to a smaller company, maybe make it into a medical technical park, any kind of adaptive reuse. It's a highly desirable site. We're not too worried. We do think that there'll be a new buyer in here, and hopefully within the short term, because Merck will be here through 2014, and certainly by the early 2015 they will be out. But hopefully something will pan out well before that.
And what's going to happen with the tax revenue if there is a little bit of a space between when Merck moves out and before they're able to sell and get someone else to come in? Is it going to stay consistent, or is there going to be a drop?
Well, that's a good question. They do own the property. We're hearing that 2014 will be the same amount of taxes that they do pay. They pay about $9 million to the city, which is 7.2% of our overall budget. So of course it's very consequential to our budget. After that, the process is usually that they will do a tax appeal, and that'll be up to the courts to decide what the current, in the future, the rate would be that would be fair for a campus that may be empty, that may be, but they still own it. If they're going to be paying taxes, it's just a question of how much.
And what about the businesses surrounding the campus? For those of us who've lived in the Summit area, we've kind of seen it develop over the last 3 or 4 years. I know you said that you're not worried about somebody else coming in and taking over the building, but do you think that if there is a lag time in someone taking over, it will affect the businesses surrounding the Merck campus?
Well, yes and no. I mean, we're in front of a development that is fully rented. It has been all along. Not a lot of Merck employees ever lived in Summit. I do think a lot of them probably shop in these little areas here. The downtown never saw a big increase with the Merck employees during the day. We do know that a lot of them came in for for dinner. Lunch, a lot of them remain on the campus because they have a lot of facilities on the campus. But I think it will hurt slightly the dinner crowd in Summit short term. Yes, I agree. So we want to try to find a new use for this site as soon as possible.
And there was a little bit of speculation going around the community wondering if there would have been a difference in opinion with Merck staying in their campus if we did in fact have a helipad in the area. Do you think that that was any sort of factor in their decision making?
I asked them that directly, and they said no, not at all. And in fact, about 3 months ago, we kept hearing the same rumor. So Chris Cotter and I approached Al Martino, who runs the facility right here, and said, is this in any way a factor in your decision? And he said, no, absolutely not. The Morristown Airport is very short distance. Our chairman is not a prima donna. He can come into the Morristown Airport and be here in a matter of minutes. So I really don't, I know that's a rumor floating around. I think it had absolutely nothing to do with it.
Well, thank you so much for meeting with us and explaining to us what might happen with the campus. And we are also hopeful that someone will move in. It's a great community and a great location. So.
You're welcome. No, I'm very optimistic about this site. This is what businesses want. They want to be near connectivity, close to Manhattan, close to the airport. A lot of younger employees want to be close to public transportation and stores, great schools. So I am very optimistic.
Well, you heard it here, the breaking news for the Merck campus and what's going to happen in the future. We'll keep you updated only here at HomeTowne TV. Back to you in the studio.